to be in a project that an event that took place in your motherland?
Yeah, it was an interesting story. I went to film school actually in Germany, and I knew that location in and out because it's a historic site. It's protected, looks pretty much like in the 70s. And I never thought much of it, but now coming back to this location to tell that story through that specific lens was quite interesting. It felt very fulfilling working with a lot of people. I started making films, like Tim Philbaum, the director, and we started making movies together. So it felt really liberating, like telling, especially it's like an American-German story, right? We have the ABC News crew as our protagonists, but then also the German government plays an important role, and like the how they were overwhelmed and not reacted properly. There were so many mistakes made by the German police back then. So that was an interesting feeling. We tried to be as accurate as possible, but of course it's always an artistic choice how we show this to compress the time. Our film is like 90 minutes. The real events took place over 22 hours, so we try to be creative and give the audience watching our film the same excitement that people had watching this over the course of 22 hours on live TV.
Now, there's a lot of archives, because obviously this was documented. So what was something that really shocked you to see from back then to retrieve, to recreating the whole newsroom?
I think I was surprised seeing how, this was the first time something like this happened on live TV, how normal it appeared. They were or how naive the journalists were, basically showing the police trying to storm the building, not realizing that all the terrorists had a TV themselves, and most likely, we don't know exactly, but most likely they had an idea this is happening, so the police had to abandon their attempt to free the hostages. So it was quite interesting how naive they were and not realizing. And I think today we're way more aware what it means to go live, but also we all have in our smartphones, in our pockets, we all have the ability to either go live or share information, and I really felt in a way, the responsibility as a filmmaker too, while filming this, what we show, what we don't show, especially because this has such a historic context, we wanted to do it justice.
Now, you look young. So
I have grey hair.
So September 5 was like the beginning of crisis news. Yeah. What's one that right away, before this one, just comes to your mind right away?
I mean, I think the biggest event I remember was 9/11 in that regard. I'd heard about the Munich Olympics attack, and I saw the documentary one day in September. It's a brilliant documentary. But I think seeing 9/11 and how long this took place, like how we didn't know, is it still going on? I felt over the whole course of the day we were stuck to the TV, and this memory I took as a reference how I think people must have felt watching the events in Munich in the 70s.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on this project.